If you ever heard of anybody talking about Claude, or you see a lot of pop-ups on your windows about what Claude AI is, this is the only video you will need. I'm going to take you from zero to knowing how to use and utilize Claude AI today. So let's get started. My name is Ernest. Welcome to my channel. We're going to dive into what Claude AI is and get you from being a beginner to being a very proficient individual using any type of AI, specifically speaking with Claude, but this goes across all AI platforms. All right, let's get started. So for the most part, you're going to be wondering, what is Claude? And to be completely honest, it's just one of many different AI tools out there in the internet. And it does a lot of things that other AI platforms don't do. And I'm going to dive into that in just a little bit. So if you have no idea where to start, I'm going to teach you where to go, how to utilize it. Make sure you create your own account and be using it today to complete a single or a very simple task and getting you more comfortable with utilizing AI. You do not need any tech background. You do not need to be a coder. You do not need to have any elaborate skills. All you need is a computer, your phone, tablet, internet access, a valid email account, and that's all you need. Follow along with this video. Make sure that you have good internet service to get this going, and let's jump into it. So what is exactly Claude AI? AI is for artificial intelligence and is an assistant. There's various types of AI platforms out there. You might have heard of the most popular one, which is ChatGPT. There's Grok. There's Gemini AI. And then, of course, there is Claude AI. And there's many more that I have not mentioned here. So most of the AI platforms out here, they tell you how to use them. And most people tend to use them as a search engine. But what I want you to be thinking about AI, I want you to be thinking about a personal assistant. Someone who can help you write better, can help you plan better, organize your thoughts or your schedule, and build things that you need building, like a planner or a schedule, or if you have a project that you need to have completed, it'll give you step-by-step process on how to get that accomplished, and you can carry on about that way. You can think about it as again, a personal assistant that can give you that backup that you need. So again, most people have a lot of different thoughts when it comes to AI. Some people embrace it. Some people are shying away from it. Let's demystify a couple of things when it comes to AI. A lot of people think that AI is for cheaters, for people who are just not wanting to put the effort into doing the due diligence to do the work, or are just for coders, people who are in the tech industry who know coding, software engineers, etc. But in reality, it's like anything in the world. This is just a tool. And how you use a tool is going to be completely up to you. How you utilize it, if you use it for getting yourself more proficient in things that you do in your day-to-day tasks, or if you just use it to just simplify your life. How you use it is going to be very, very person to person, very niche in that regard. I like to think about it as a personal assistant, someone who is helping you become a better version of yourself. You put in your input on what you want to be completed, giving you freedom of time to do things that will continue to persuade you to become a better individual. So that's the way I use AI, and that's how I would encourage you to use AI. Now, why did I choose Claude AI versus any of the other platforms out there? They're all fantastic. OpenAI has come up with fantastic upgrades and updates to their software. One of them that Claude doesn't do very well, which is image generation. If that's something that you want to do into graphics and such, you might want to go to ChatGPT. But I tend to use it for more niche tasks, and I'll explain to you exactly what I mean by that. One of the things that Claude AI does better than any other platforms is that it writes like a human. It does not sound robotic. It's a very easy to understand context-wise. Whenever it shoots an answer, it gives you a very easy to understand, not over embellish on things, easy to read, easy to write. It helps you get the point across in one shot, which most of the other AI platforms tend to just be a little bit behind Claude. It holds a project on its head if you give it enough context, and it doesn't unravel. So what I mean by that is that if you just open a chat, and we'll dive into how to do that in just a little bit, and you start to use that one chat, only one chat, and you go on and you start talking in that chat for days on end and giving it different tasks to complete, give it a different context, it's gonna get a little confused. It can get things a little bit mixed. And one of the things that Claude does better than other AI platforms is that it keeps the context pretty solid and it doesn't fall apart. It makes sure that it always reroutes you to what your main point was, which is one of the greatest things when it comes to using an AI platform. You don't want to deviate from your main purpose too far out that it just forgets exactly why you even started that first chat to begin with. And again, like I said earlier, it really helps you build things, and it gives you actionable steps to do things. It gives you real tools, real outputs on how to get things done, checks in with you, make sure it holds you accountable. I think we can all use a little bit of accountability. And I think it definitely helps you become a better version of yourself. So if that's something that resonates with you, Claude is definitely going to be the best AI tool for you to utilize. So let's get started. Let's start with that slight introduction, and let's help you get your account set up and start using AI today. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to go to a preferably Google Chrome web browser. That's usually tends to be the best one to utilize. And as we continue to dive in with these episodes, and they all start to build from each other, Google Chrome and the Google browser is very much compatible with Claude. And we're going to show you how to utilize it from extensions and other things. But I digress. I don't want to overcomplicate this video with that. We will go into that in depth later. So the first thing that you're going to do is going to go to the search engine and you're going to type Claude AI and just hit enter. Then you're going to be looking for Claude AI, which is down here. You'll see this little sign and you're going to click on that. This is where you need a email. You can utilize any email that you have available. It doesn't really truly matter. But again, I would recommend you to utilize a Gmail account if you have it. If you don't, highly suggest it. So I already have my account fully integrated, so I don't necessarily need to go through this whole step. Instead, I'm just going to log into the one that I have. So that's what we'll do. All right, and as you can see, I'm already logged in. Once you get the email set up, it's just a very simple follow the steps on how to utilize, how to log in and create your account. Gmail, preferably, username and password, and then you have full access to Claude AI. Now, once you're there, it'll greet you by your username. For me, obviously, my name is Ernest. And it'll be giving me a greeting like that, like back at it again, Ernest, or something of that nature, which I like. I like a nice greeting. So then you have this interface, and it's very similar to most AIs out there. You have a chat box, you have your tools or chat trends on this sidebar, and then you have a way to integrate your requests, your context, or your prompt, what is that you want to chat about. And then you can also just speak to it, which I think is one of the better ways to really do this. If you're like me, I tend to type at a very average pace, but I can speak much faster. If that resonates with you, if you're in a place where you can speak your thoughts and your prompt and what you want, highly suggest that you click on the mic and give it access to it so that you can kind of just verbalize exactly what it is that you want, and then it will tell you. So a very simple thing here. So let's start off with just kind of getting familiar with the tools, and then we'll start giving it a prompt. So again, like I talked about earlier, we have a sidebar, which you can expand here. And you'll see a bunch of different things. Now, this is all the conversations that I've had with Claude AI. We don't have to worry about those. Here on this top is where you can create a new chat, which will take you to exactly this window. Thereafter, you have a history of chats. It will take you to all the chats that you have available. If you forget which chat you were before, if you have like 100, like I have a bunch of them here, and you want to talk about, you want to continue a chat regarding a specific topic, you can come here and search your chats to make sure that you can get back on that. So let's just utilize this in real time. I remember asking Claude AI about book recommendations. So I can just type book, and it will give me all the chats that have anything to do with the book. And then I look at exactly what is that I want. So here I have this one that's called personalized books recommendation based on my DNA profile. Then you click on the chat and it'll take you exactly where you want to go, and you can continue on with that chat. So that's how you utilize chats. Then there's this thing that we're going to dive very deeply into, which is called projects. Projects are very specific, quote unquote, projects that you want to work on. We're going to be diving this in the future, and we're going to be utilizing all these kinds of things. We're going to be building artifacts, and you can even customize your interface when it comes to using AI. So that's the gist of it. Claude has a lot more to offer. I'm not going to go over every single thing because every video that we're going to do is going to build off of that. So let's start with the first chat. Here, we're going to go and just ask for something random. All right, so this is exactly what it looks like, the platform for most of the AI platforms out there. And what I don't want you to do is utilize AI software like this as a search engine. You will be doing yourself a disservice and utilizing this in that way. What I want you to do instead is actually utilize this as a personal assistant. So instead of asking just what the weather is like, what you want to get done today, or what time the movie starts, use it as a personal assistant. So let me show you what I mean by that. Let me give you a couple of examples. Here we have a couple of differences between what a search engine does and what a personal assistant would do for you. So on this example here, we'll see that most people would just use a very simple question for the AI. And I think we all done that. I mean, I definitely started using AI in this way. Super common. How do I plan my week? And it's going to give you a very generic step list on how to improve your week in that regard, but it's not going to give you any context as far as why you want to improve your week. There's no question why you're doing this. There's no information output at all. Instead, what I want you to do, I want you to go ahead and think about your prompting a little bit more deeper. Just think about asking someone a specific task that you want to get done, why you want to get done, and how it matters to you. And so here's an example of that. We have this one. I'll read it out loud for you guys. Here is my calendar, my top 3 priorities, and when my energy dies, ask me 5 questions, then build a week and tell me what I'm lying to myself about. See, what this does is that it implicitly tells the AI software to build you a specific structured week around a real constraint that you may have. So it'll analyze it, It will tell you where your energy leakage is going to be, any conflicts that may be colliding and that you should try to avoid. It's going to give you a better response because your context is much more detailed. It will ask you more questions before it answers, and it will produce actionable steps to get that done with no just, jargon, essentially. So that's the difference between using the search engine and an AI assistant. So it's very important that we're going to go ahead and in a different video show you how you can come up with these types of prompts much easier. So don't fret, don't get stressed about this. It gets easier as we go on. Now, let's go back to our slides here. So like we talked about it just a little bit ago, don't talk to it like a search engine. Be brief and talk to it like a person. Give it context, tell it who you are and what you want, and it's going to give you the best answers. Now, this is just episode 1. It's an introduction to all this. It's a little bit shorter. We're going to dive into so much more detailed stuff that you're going to become an expert on how to utilize AI. And this is kind of the schedule that we're going to follow for a few weeks here. We're going to utilize, I'm going to show you how to use projects, how to use Claude Cowork, how to utilize Claude Code, and then how do you build your personal AI DNA. And if you don't even know what that even means, don't worry. We're going to take it very slow, break it down one step at a time so you don't get lost. And remember, you can always ask questions in the comments. I will get to you promptly and answer anything that you may have questions about. Other than that, make sure that you make an account, use it today, just talk to it like a normal human individual, and then get started utilizing it. Get familiar with the platform because episode 1 is done today. Don't forget to subscribe. We're just getting started. Hit the notification bells for when I upload my next video. Other than that, great job for staying all the way to the end. We'll see you next time.